around, they're autonomous systems. That's the technical term for my field, meaning self-controlled. So that means that people have created programs that get, placed into the device, and then the device runs itself, and things go right or go wrong depending on how well the program was written and how smart the people were who created the thing. Did they think of all the contingencies, ways that can go wrong? So the world is filled with autonomous systems now.
So are you trying to say that the robots are displacing people out of
Well,
jobs?
they are. So I visited the Songus Industrial History Center, where there's 200-year-old textile machines. And one of the themes there was technological innovation displacing workers, even within that industry. So there was like this shuttle mechanism which held, I think what it was is it held a bunch of spools of yarn. And it displaced the people who would have carried that stuff around. So, I don't want to be, thinking that technology is only for good, but certainly there is a history, hundreds of years of technology changing jobs, and that's certainly true nowadays. But actually, continuing on, because people are all nervous about computer science and jobs going overseas. There was just this week, there was a major report by the Professional Association of Computer Science. It's the Association of Computing Machinery. And they did a major investigation. And things are going well. There's a lot of jobs in computer science that are staying in the United States. So while the modern world, and it is easy to have jobs go anywhere in the world, there's still a need for smart people working on computers here in this country.
Right. How do we rank with the rest of the world? Other countries as far as keeping on top of that?
I think the United States has been historically and continues to be the most dynamic and innovative place for high tech. Certainly there are real challenges and other countries are catching up.
Right.
But the business climate here, it's easier to start a company here in the United States than anywhere else on the planet. And that really matters. And so, I think this is, there's probably a few other places you could imagine being, Europe, Japan, certainly the Far East is doing great stuff. But the software is really most advanced in the United States, I would say. It's a matter of opinion, but we're certainly highly competitive. It'll be a while before you want to go somewhere else,
I see.
Especially if you're American.
Well, what's the job market for students who come to Umass Lowell, want to pursue engineering and are interested in robotics?
Yeah.
Is there a large market for that? And
there is.
What are some of the options for somebody in that field?
So there aren't lots of jobs in robotics per se, but if you study robotics here, and in practice what that means is there's two classes that you could take as an undergrad. One's taught by myself, one's taught by my colleague, Holly Yanko. It will give you a foundation to do any sort of jobs that involve hardware and software. So for instance, some of my graduates have gone on to places like EMC, which is a major storage vendor for huge databases with huge amounts of data, and they're based in Hopkinton. They're a big employer regionally. Another of our graduates has gone on to Raytheon, and they do a lot of military contracts with hardware and software. So even if it's not classical robotics, like this Roomba vacuum or things that run around, there are lots of jobs that involve both hardware and software together. And most, if you go straight computer science, then you won't really ever deal with hardware. So, but if you do computer science with robotics, then you will learn about hardware, and that will open up a whole bunch more jobs.
Okay. Can you just clarify real quick between hardware, software?
Yeah, sure. Well, so because hardware, what I mean is computers interfacing to electrical systems. So having sensors, actuators like motors. So it's when you're building the computer into something. That's really the way I'm thinking about it. So most people think of computers as being the thing on your desk or the laptop. But something like a cell phone, that's a computer. And it has radio circuits as well as screen, and they do MP3s and the camera. So there's all sorts of hardware built into the cell phone.
Okay.
So those sort of systems where it's computation embedded into things. The student I mentioned is at Raytheon. I don't think this is classified. He's working on technology that would that soldiers would wear that would report, I'm pretty sure this is what it is, that would report like information about their physical state. So it has like sensors that monitor their bodies, and that information would get relayed back to some like main base. So he's working on that.
Wow.
That's great.
It's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Lee, did you have, before we go to break, have a question for Dr. Martin?
Just pick one. You got like 6 of them there.
Oh, well, we're not going to have time. We're not going to have time, but I'm going to follow up on that with you. We're actually going to take a short break, and Cassie Rubico will be interviewing Nancy Pitkin and Grace Way from the Bartlett School on the after-school program and robotics in that particular program. So
Great.
we'll be back shortly. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Cassie Rubico, and I'm here with Nancy Pitkin from Umass Lowell and Dr. Grace Way from the Bartlett Middle School. Dr. Grace Way is the principal at the Bartlett Middle School, and she's going to talk to us today about the Bartlett Enrichment Program. Could you tell us a little bit about that, please?
Well, first I want to say that the Bartlett Middle School is now, all those students have now moved to Stocklosa School, which is on Broadway and School Street, and the Bartlett has been renamed to the Bartlett Community Partnership School, and Umass Lowell is one of the school's partners. This school is a merger of the Umass Lowell Demonstration School, which was a 5-room pre-K to 4 school, and the McDonough City Magnet School, which was a pre-K to 8 school. Those two entities came together, and it's now a pre-K to 8 school. And in the afternoons, our middle schoolers stay 1 hour longer. It's an extended day. So their day normally would end at 2:50, and they finish school at 3:50. From 2:50 to 3:50, we've had Umass Lowell join us in offering extended day offerings during that time, enrichment offerings.
And the focus of today's show is the robotics, and that, under Fred Martin, that is one of the programs that you offer, as well as many others. And
Yes.
Nancy, could you talk to us about the UMass Lowell's partnership in this?
Sure. UMass Lowell's partnership in this is to ask faculty, staff, and graduate and undergraduate students to participate in programs at the Bartlett School, and we offer programs in green chemistry, in theater, in chess, in strategic board games, and leadership. And many of the students who are doing this are undergrads, and they're having a wonderful time at it. We have graduate students, and we have faculty and staff who are offering programs. One of the programs besides the robotics is green chemistry, where the students are doing activities in the classroom, like mixing oil and water and seeing what happens. We have another grad student who's doing a program in theater, who's exploring all the different ways that you can teach theater to children.
How long has the program been in existence?
We started in October of last year.
And how many students would you say are involved in this?
We're servicing about 95 to 100 students in 2 5-week sessions right now.
But we have a total of 250 middle schoolers.
Now, okay, so the program itself is at the Bartlett Middle School, but the city, I mean, all the schools in the city can go to this?
No, they're
Okay, so-
my students.
Okay.
In the grades 5 through 8 stay a longer day. They stay for an hour, and during that hour, either they have an offering
Right.
from an allied arts teacher that's a staff member of the Lowell Public Schools, or for 3 5-week sessions,
Yes.
UMass Lowell comes in and also offers robotics and
and-
chess and whatnot.
And how do you determine what programs you're going to offer? Is it through the university, or is it through the Bartlett Middle School, or is it a combination of both?
Well, my staff, the Lowell Public Schools staff, has, for example, our gym teacher offered mini sports in the fall, and UMass Lowell students actually came and assisted during that period. Basketball was one
Yes.
of the most recent ones.
Right.
My art teacher has what she calls kaleidoscope, and so the children participate in a number of art projects. When UMass Lowell comes, we can lower